Hello. Welcome, Kumbaya Corner. On today's episode, I am going to be dissecting another one of my poems, which also doesn't have a name, but it has, as usual, it has a central idea. This one is quite special to me because I wrote it when I was kind of at crossroads. Like, see, right now, I don't remember specifically what was the situation because it's a thing that kind of always applies and is written as kind of a conversation between a child and her father. So basically, it's like a conversation between me and God. But I wrote my questions. I wrote both sides. I want to say the things that I obviously wrote from God's POV, or if you would rather see it as a child and her father, rather. It was more like the father answering the questions, and this one is pretty like it's pretty self-explanatory, but then it's just kind of me getting into this story around writing what I wrote. So I'm going to read it. Also today, for some odd reason, social media is down. Like, I tried to log into my Medium account. It's not working. I don't really know what's going on. I did see on Twitter that Canva and some other apps were down, which is kind of confusing to me, but it's okay. What can we do, really? So yeah, I'm gonna read the poem, and then when I'm done, we can discuss. Or as I read, I'll just pause in between to read. So here it goes. What do I gain if I have lost that which keeps me sane? The core foundation of my being, though strong, is abandoned, unwatered. Child, listen, I'll tell you what you gain. You gain resilience, for your longing to be once again connected to your core has ignited in you a desire to keep fighting, a will to live, and dare I say an eager one at that. In this moment you imply to be insanity. You have discovered and undiscovered who you are and aren't. Through this experience, child, you have tapped into the sorrows of others, born as your own, offering a sense of release to the latter. By assuming you have lost the core of your being, you have scoured the earth and beyond for a new sense of self, as what you assumed was the defining factor has been stripped from you. Child, you have gone through transformation like any other living being on this earth. For what you have endured and continue to endure is that which we call growth, and it doesn't stop until you do. Ife Ivana, my signature. As you can see, it's a conversation between a child and her father, and she's basically at crossroads. I'm saying she, like it's not me I'm talking about, but I'm going to speak in the third person, like it's not me I'm talking about, just for flair. So the child is asking, what do I gain if I've lost what keeps me sane? Whatever it is that you feel like is keeping you grounded, your sense of style, your things that you used to love, there was a point where I did not just love those things anymore. And then I just found it as like it was like I was standing on a beam, like a balance beam, and I was about to fall. And it's like I feel like I've lost everything that is keeping my sanity, like the core foundation of my being. I just don't know what's going on anymore. I just don't know what's happening. Like, I just feel lost. I feel like I've abandoned my foundation. It is unwatered. It's just there. And then the response I got from my father was an assurance that actually you haven't lost it, and this feeling of lostness that you're feeling now is all part of the journey, and it's a good sign that you can feel lost and admit that, yeah, do you know what, actually I'm lost. It's a good sign. Like I always say to people sometimes, I lost my train of thought. But it's like the lostness feeling is all parts of growth. It's all a phase. And the fact that you can still stand and admit that you're lost, it doesn't mean that you're not lost, but you're on the journey to finding yourself. You're on the journey to becoming. And in response to me asking, what do I gain? The response was like, I'll tell you what you gain. You have gained resilience for your longing to once again be connected to your core, or your foundation has ignited a desire in you to keep fighting. Like you have, like, I'm going to continue pushing. I'm going to wake up the next day and show up for myself, whatever that looks like, because it's like I want to see the end. I want to see it to the end. I want to see it through. I want to come out and be able to look back and be like, now I see. And your longing to once again be connected to your core has ignited in you a desire to keep fighting, a will to live, and a very eager one at that. And in this moment that you imply to be insanity, you've discovered and undiscovered who you are and aren't. You're learning and unlearning new habits, unlearning bad habits, unlearning just habits that that were just instilled in you just because of culture, background, or whatever. And then you're growing from that into whatever it is. And there's so much beauty. Like, I know uncertainty is very like scary, but then there's also the side of uncertainty that is beautiful. And I see it that way because I'm like, you just have to believe that no matter how it plays out, no matter how it unfolds, it will end with you winning. You just have to. People will say, yeah, just be delusional. Like, yeah, like you can't convince me that no matter how things end up, I'm going to end up like not winning in my books. Because that for me, that's something that keeps me going. I just have to constantly believe that no matter how it plays out, even if it's going to fail right now, in the end, whenever that may be, it's all going to work in my favor. And this is honestly something that has kept me going in life. Like, when I tell you I am, maybe one day I'll be able to talk about it in detail when I say things that I'm not necessarily tried, but like just the cards that have been dealt in life. If I said, you know what, I'm actually going to give up today, today is the day I actually give up. I don't know how that would play out, but then that's just not the spirit I have. And it's like at every point where I feel like, I'm not doing this anymore, I'm gonna give up, I find a new reason to keep fighting. And whilst that can become very annoying, because sometimes you just want to give up, you just want to call it a spade, but it's like, don't give in. Like, honestly, don't give in, because it's actually going to end up so well for you. And you just need to believe that, because I believe that for myself, and I believe that for you. I believe that for anyone that is really, really like that's listening to what I'm saying right now. Growth doesn't stop until you do. And sometimes growth looks a little stale. It looks like nothing is happening, but things are happening. Things are moving, really. And you just have to trust that. So that is what today's poem is about, really. Like, that's what that poem is about. It was a short one, but it does go into some like deep topic that I feel like it was on my mind at the time. And when I wrote this, it felt kind of prophetic in a way. Like, it made sense in the moment, but it continues to remain relevant because it is something I'm being faced with every other day, every season, every moment. When things just start to feel like it's not moving, it's just not giving anymore, but continue to do what it is that you're doing. Just keep showing up for yourself, whatever that looks like, honestly. Because I think when I say, oh yeah, you just have to keep showing up for yourself, it's not going to look the same every day. Sometimes showing up for yourself today might look different from what it looks like yesterday. But when you're making progress, So yeah, that's just what I have to say today. That's my 2 cents of the day. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned on Kumbaya Corner. Thank you for listening to my episodes. I do have an Instagram account for the podcast, but I haven't done much there. I haven't started to put work into it, but the Instagram is called Kumbaya Corner. Literally the same spelling as it is on the podcast. Subscribe to my Substack if you're someone that likes to read, and I will see you guys next time. Honestly, I'm excited for whatever the next topic is going to be. I don't even know what it's going to be. I will be talking more about books, movies that I like and I have watched as well, I would also like to have more of my friends and just more people that I come in contact with in life on the podcast, but work in progress, and like I said, work in progress. So yeah, bye guys. Thank you for listening.
Kumbaya Corner. This episode is brought to you by pOeM. Enjoy the episode.